Welcome, everyone, to Introducing the Podcast. Oh, I am your girl, Smart Video Girl, here live, okay, for another great episode. Y'all, we're winding down the season. It's coming to an end. I only have one more show left for you guys. One more show left for you guys. But I am your host, Smart Video Girl, here introducing at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for one more week after this. So make sure you subscribe, like, and share, okay, the YouTube channel, so that you can keep track of everything that's going on. Make sure you like it. It's scrolling down there at the bottom, so you can just go on over to YouTube at Only Greatness Media, okay, at Only Greatness Media, and share with a friend. So today's show is very special, and it's a very much near and dear to my heart. It was a surprise. Today's show is called Lessons from My Mother. That's right. We just celebrated Mother's Day this past Sunday, and I wanted to do a tribute to my mother and let her know how much I love her, I appreciate her, and I wanted to use my podcast to do that because I definitely have learned so much from my mother, and I'm pretty sure that a lot of us as well have learned something from our mothers. And sometimes we don't always attribute, you may have had a rough relationship with your mother. You may have had difficult times with your mom, or, things like that. But you still learned something from your mother, okay? And I just want her to know how much that I love her, I appreciate her, and yes, surprise, mom. She is one of my favorite loyal fans who's always tuning in. She asked me what the show was going to be about today. And guess what I say? Well, you're just going to have to check it out. You're just going to have to wait and see. All right. So, yes, shout out to everybody who's tuned in right now. Make sure, I hope that you keep your mom in remembrance today as we pay a tribute to the lessons that we learned from our mothers. So I'm going to play this quick video for you guys. I hope you enjoy it. It's called An Ode to Moms, a Mother Day special.
This is an ode to every mother and every mother figure. The one who prays and stays and struggles with us. The one who fights and forgives and faces the storms with uncompromising calm. This is an ode to Mom. The one who carries us in her womb, in her hands, in her heart. In her we see the definition of grace. She keeps us safe, keeps us fed, keeps us in school, in church, in check, inspired. She digs deep into the well of her soul and finds a love that overflows, overrides, overwhelms everything. And it always does. She gives the love of 1,000 selfless deeds every day. She makes plates, makes clothes, makes beds, makes plans, makes time, makes do with what she has. And she teaches us that what we have is enough. She gives the love of 1,000 victories in the face of loss and suffering. She wins every time because she always serves first. She knows her worth, her covering, her comforting. Her faith believes that her will be is greater than her was. She gives the love of 1,000 sacrifices in the shape of our expectations, and she makes it look so easy we could hardly see the half of what she gives. More than she takes. She prays, she sings, she tucks us in, and we never see her sleep, but she dreams the dreams and plants the seeds and bears the fruit, bears the burdens, bears all the things that we alone can't bear. She wears her strength and dignity like they will never go out of style. And she smiles at the future, and the future smiles back because it knows the good things she'll bring when she shows up. And she always does. She brings peace and virtue with her everywhere she goes. Courage in tow, she shows us that a fearless woman is a woman who fears the Lord. She stands assured, stands up straight, stands on his promises, his providence. Her hands work with willingness as she does the most good. And she always does. She is fierce and unflinching, unrelenting, undivided, understanding, undemanding. She has grace to manage her house into a household where she holds all the pieces together and never breaks under the pressure. She is underestimated, underpaid, and understated. When she faces the temptation to give up, she simply finds a way to give more. And she always does. And all this comes before her children are even up for the day. And when they rise, they'll say, "Blessed is this woman who gives so much and says so much more than 1,000 words with a single touch." And she always does. She gives the love of 1,000 generations of mothers before her, mothers who bore her and raised her and gave her the stories we will never read in history books. But when history looks back, it will see that she was the one worth writing about. Because many women have done excellently, but she has surpassed them all. And she always does.
An ode to mom. Look, I'm over here. I was like, I hope I brought my tissue because I'm about to be crying over here today. Y'all know, if you do not know, I'm a very sensitive person and I cry a lot. I will cry at a commercial about chicken, okay? Let it be the right commercial, okay? So, shout out to all the moms out there. Shout out to all the mother figures out there. Everyone who has taught you a lesson as a mother who has sacrificed in a way that shows so much love. And today, I just want to talk about a few lessons that I learned from my mom. Okay. And I hope that you can resonate with some of these because it's just, you never know when you take the time to reflect and you're grateful for the people in your life, you can see that you learn something from all of them. And you really start to appreciate the sacrifice sometimes that is made in order for you to learn some of these lessons. So, the first lesson that I learned from my mother is persistence. Persistence. Okay. Yes, my mother is a persistent person. Okay. She does not give up very easily. So much so sometimes that I'm like, Mom, let it go. And she will not do that. And the beauty of that is her persistence has gotten us through so many different circumstances in life. Her persistence helped me get money for school. Okay. When I didn't have any funding for school, she was determined. You hear me? Determined with a capital D to make sure that her daughter could go to the school that she wanted to go to. She had no way herself, but she was persistent in asking for money from anybody who would listen. Okay. And even though at times I was slightly embarrassed, right? It taught me a lot about not giving up. When you have something that you desire, when you have something that you are looking forward to, something that is heavy on your heart and something that you truly believe in, it takes persistence. You have to keep going. You have to not be worried, right, about the no. You have to, and if somebody tells you no, you just say, okay, turn around and go to the next person and ask them with the same tenacity and the same belief and the same vigor that you did this first person. She let no no's hinder her. Okay. Um, we were homeless, and I tell people this in during my senior year in college, like my freshman year of college. So there was like this transition. And at one point, my mother and my sister were in the shelter, and there was an incident. And y'all let me know if I'm missing part of this. But what I know for a fact is that they got kicked out or something. They had to move out. And my mom, my mom sat at the social services place for she was determined, persistence, okay, and to get reinstated back into the program, right? Because something happened, they get kicked out, or if there was an issue and they were removed from the program. And my mother was like, no, this is not happening. And she was very persistent, and she got back in the program. And they said to her that this was a basically a miracle, because this doesn't usually happen. Like once you get kicked out of programs like that, once there's an issue and you're removed from the program, it with anything with social services, anything with like a social program, you usually got to start all over. You got to start all over from the beginning. I mean, you got to apply and go through the whole process all over again, if you can even do that. And she said, no, 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 it's not going down. So my mother's stubbornness, in a sense, her persistence, is something that I definitely learned from her, and watching her be who she is and appreciating that in her. And especially when it came to her children. You hear me? When it came to her babies, there was nothing that could stop her. Nothing. And I see that same love. I see that same tenacity. I see that same persistence when it comes to her grandbabies. And so I love her for being who she is, for being the persistent person that she has been. So that is lesson one. Lesson one that I learned from my mother is persistence. Yes, persistence. So thank you, mommy, for that. All right. And so lesson two is unconditional love. Unconditional love. And so unconditional love is one of those things, almost to a fault. I use my mom for examples for a lot of things. That's because she has been such a great example for so many things. Like, you know, I am grateful that I can use her as someone to see and watch and emulate, or not learn from, but still be an example of some sort. And what she has taught me is unconditional love. And when I tell you about unconditional love, I mean, my mom will love you, boogers in your nose, gray hair. It doesn't matter. And sometimes I'm like, Ma, I don't look great. I don't look good, but it doesn't matter what I look like, or it doesn't matter what I've done. It doesn't matter what I said. She loves me for me. She loves me for me. She loves my sister for her. So, like, there's like nothing when you talk about a mother's love, and a mother loving you through thick and thin. Like, I could say, listen, I can be I'm gonna be a painter. She's gonna be like, okay, baby, you can do it. And she's gonna encourage, and she's going to love me unconditionally, no matter what. And I know for a fact that in my 42 years of being here on this earth, I have not always made the best decisions. Have not always been the best daughter. But no matter what, my mother has never, ever, 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 ever stopped loving me. Even in the times when it was hard for me to be loving towards her, she never stopped loving me unconditionally. And that is very, 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 very precious. It means a lot to me. It's taught me how to love my kids unconditionally, and it has helped me in our relationship, and me reciprocating and learning how to heal in our relationship. So, unconditional love is one of those things that a lot of us don't get the opportunity to really experience. And when it does come from your mother, it means so much. And I definitely want to, you know, praise my mom, and let her know that she is such a great example, because she lost her mother when she was young. Her mother passed away when she was, a preteen. And so she didn't really have that, even up until that time, she definitely had, when she talks about my grandmother, the love and how much she misses her. But she didn't really get a chance to have that in her adult years. But she did not let that stop her from expressing love in the best way that she knew how. And my mom knows how to do that very, 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 very well. Very, 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 very well. And so I applaud her for, despite everything that this woman has been through, everything in her 72 years, because she's 72 years old, all the things that she's been through in the 72 years of her life, she still has the ability to love unconditionally. She still has the ability, she still has the ability to love no matter what. Like, there's no conditions on my mother's love. And I can see that in how she deals with other people. Like, she goes to the grocery store, she be like, hey girl, hey, like, she's such a people person. And it's a real genuine love. Like, she really enjoys engaging with people. And I can see how, and for me, sometimes I saw that in her early, and I did my best to try to protect her sometimes from people, because she loved so unconditionally that she would, like, give that love to some people that I didn't feel like they deserved it. But she still was just that person. So no matter what she's been through, she's always she just loves unconditionally. She loves you for who you are. She loves you for who you are. You can have a mole growing out your head. That's just, no matter, my mom's still gonna love you. She's gonna ask you need some help. She's very helpful in that way. And so I've seen her as this woman who constantly is helpful, who is constantly showing love and assistance, who is constantly pouring into others. And I just want to take the time out today to let her know that one of the major lessons that I learned from her is how to love unconditionally. So, mommy, I thank you so much for being such a great example of what unconditional love really, really looks like, and really showing me and loving me unconditionally. All right. I hope she's not crying, but I know she is. All right. All right. So the third lesson that I learned from Miss Patricia, who is my mother, is youthfulness. Okay? Youthfulness. This woman, and I said earlier how old she is. She's 72. You cannot tell me that she is 72. She does not look like she's 72. She does not look like what she's been through. And she doesn't move like it. Like, my mom is not someone who to sit still. Okay, and this is part of her youthfulness. She does not sit still. Okay, and sometimes I'll be like, "Mom, you need to take a rest. You need to." No, she keeps it moving. She loves to laugh. Look. She loves Rihanna. Okay, honey, the woman loves Rihanna. Okay, she has such a youthful spirit. She still plays with her grandbabies. Okay, now mind you, my daughter is 3 years old. She loves her nana because her nana is always playing with her. And I think that's part of the beauty too. My mom has this spirit, like, she doesn't, it's like, to get old is to do what? Like, I don't think she understands what the concept of getting old is. She enjoys life. Like, I have to really tell her to rest and take it easy. But her ability to, like, get around and move, like, this woman moves so much. I want to be like her in my 70s. This very youthful, full of energy, full of life, wanting to still explore life. Like, my mom still has a great desire to explore life. I see that in her. I see that in, like, the things that she's interested in. Like, she jumps into she'll jump into social media. Now, she might not talk to you, but she will scroll. Okay, she will scroll. Okay. She loves, like I said, she loves her some Rihanna. She loves to like watch. She's hip. Okay. My mom is my mom is hip and she's youthful. And that youth, that vitality that she has is something that I want to embody as I um move forward in life. I don't want to say grow older, but I want to, as I move forward in life and as I become young, as I become an elder in the community, I still want to be able to maintain my youthfulness. And my mom definitely displays that. Like this woman can go. She don't even know how to sit down. And I'll be like, oh girl, you wear me out. And I know she gets tired. I'm gonna be clear. I know she gets tired, but she is such uh, a great spirit, and the energy just kind of flows out of her. Literally, it just flows out of her. So I just want to be like her when I get to 72. You know, it's a blessing. I'm loving the fact it's 72, right? 72. Yeah, 72. Yes, 72. All right. And I'm just, sometimes I'll be like, well, why are you trying to keep up with me? But it is not her trying to keep up with me. It's just her keeping up with her life. Just being, oh yeah, she rests. Oh, that's right. That's why when she rests because she goes. My mom will lay in the bed all day. And you know what? I want to just say that because my mom has dealt with so many different things in life. She's dealt with depression, she's dealt with addiction, she's dealt with homelessness, she's dealt with losing a mom at an early age, she's dealt with um, unfair, dealing with things in her life that were unfair um, with family. There's so many different things. And she still has this tenacity to continue to go and move forward in life. She has never, her spirit has never been broken that I could see. And that could be for her just being a mother and her wanting to show face for her children, but even her and her ability to bounce back, even her ability to move forward, shows great resilience. And I'm just so super duper proud of her for who she is today. And I feel like she's living her best life right now, honestly, tell you the truth. I've seen it, like I feel like she's living her best life at 72. And I'm seeing so much more of her and exploring more of who she is. And it just makes me very grateful to be able to still have my mother here to witness that, to share these moments of my growth, and to have my children to have their grandmother here with them, and so for her to enjoy life with them. I really think too that the grandbabies help, because she loves, like, it gave her new life to have the grandkids, because it gave her more people to love unconditionally. I put it that way. And it's just amazing to see her and to be who she is. So I just wanted to take today to be a very special day to just share with my audience the lessons that I learned from my mother as we celebrate Mother's Day this past Sunday. And for me, on Mother's Day, I didn't do nothing. I told them I wasn't doing nothing. I was off duty. And I'm talking about my mother. She made me breakfast. Come on, what? I mean, I feel kind of bad, but I said I was off duty, and that's like, I'm learning to not feel bad because she chose to do that. Like, I didn't ask her to do it. You know, that's what she chose to do. But I understand too that she was celebrating me as a mother, and so this is a celebration as well. And I'm learning that you do things in your own way. My mom has a very unique way of how she shows love and how she shows up for other people. And I have learned that to accept those ways of how she shows up, accept her for who she is, unconditional love, and to appreciate that, because that's what makes her who she is and is very, 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 very special and unique. And so today's show is all about lessons that I learned from my mom. So if you are here watching, if you want to share, if you have any lessons that you learned from your mom, please, 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 please share them with me. I would love to hear what type of things that you have learned from your mother. Are some of the same things? Are they some of the same things that I learned? Did you learn some of your own new things from your mom? And it could be, the lessons don't necessarily have to be in the very direct way, but when you really take the time out to reflect on your relationship, you will see how much you may have learned from your mother. So, just a recap from the lessons that I learned, the first one is persistence, the second one was unconditional love. And the third one was youthfulness. So I do have one more. I do have one more lesson. But as always, I'm just going to take a quick little break. Okay. And when I come back, I want to share the last lesson that I have that I learned from my mother as we celebrate Mother's Day here on Introducing the Podcast. And don't forget to send in what your mothers have taught you. We'll be right back right after this message.
When I move out one day, my mom will be very sad.
I feel my mom's love in my heart, like right here. I'm feeling it right now.
Sometimes I love, sometimes I don't. But when I'm angry, I don't.
My mom is everything to me. She just is this ray of energy and sunlight and positivity.
The thing that I wish I could have done more of is thanking her.
Didn't matter what shape I was in, I could always come home to Mom. My mom was basically the glue that held me together.
When I left the Philippines, I knew that my son will be in good hands because I know my mom will take care of him.
My mom is kind of smart, not that smart. If I would say like 1 to 10, it would be a 5.
Maybe my poor dad got the raw end of the deal, but I do remember my mother saying to him when there was an argument about something I'd done, she says, "You don't want to hurt her spirit." I remember that.
My mom was diagnosed with a really rare disease about 12 hours before she died. So we didn't get a lot of time to talk or to say goodbye, but she did get to say that she loved me, which were her last words. And I cherish that because I've been able to hang on to it.
I'm probably going to say to my mom, "You're a wonderful person. And you're my mentor." I tie an invisible string to my heart, and she ties the same one to her heart, and it's always attached together.
My mother, she struggled a lot with addiction. Sorry, I'm getting upset. Yeah, it was hard.
You know, you have partners, you have friends, you have kids, but there is nobody else who will ever care about you as much.
My son now always tells me, "I love you, Mama." But for 48 years, I realized I didn't say I love you to my mom.
I can think of 3 words. I forgive you.
You were a good mom. You did really good.
Thank you, Mom.
I love you, Mom.
Hey, Chelsea, if moms got paid, how much do you think they should get paid in a year for being a mom?
Maybe $100.
I love you, Mom. Yes, that was a very, very, very touching. Y'all, I'm glad I don't wear a whole lot of makeup because my mascara would be all over the place right now. It would be all on the floor, all over the place because I am just a crying mess, okay? But this is just a great show today of lessons from my mother as we celebrate Mother's Day, as I celebrate my mother, Miss Patricia Glenn, who has the rock and who has taught me so much about life and just about being a good mother and how to love unconditionally and how to be persistent and how to stay youthful in life and how to overcome triumphs and I mean, overcome obstacles and adversities. Okay. All right. Oh my goodness. So before I share my last lesson that I learned from my mom, I want to go to my lovely audience here and see what some of the comments that you guys have. Let's see. My sis says, T says, my mom taught me to have faith in the face of adversity and blessings. Faithfulness is never tested if you truly have it. Having faith when you can't see tomorrow, not just when it comes. Amen. I love that. I love that. I love that. And that's a great lesson to learn from your mom, okay? Because that is priceless. That's something that you can't ever, you know, you never know. And sometimes you don't hear them say that to you. You just see them in action. You just see them doing it, right? And sometimes it takes for you to get older to realize that your mom really did love you. Your mom loved you so much so that they did these things. And it was just like, you learn by watching, you learn by seeing them overcome adversities, go through trials and tribulations. And I definitely can say that I see my mom battle so many different things and be victorious in them. And that is one of the reasons why I feel like I'm a strong person, is because I've seen her overcome things like addiction for years, okay? And fall on her face and get back up and do it again and again and again and again and again until she was able to let it go, you know? So that right there in itself is saying that anything is possible. Like you can overcome anything that you really put your mind to. And so, I love that. All right. Mr. Cortland Jones said, my mom models generosity. Excuse me. She is giving and kind. She once took out a loan to help a friend in need. She is still a blessing and a light for the family. Amen. Amen. I love that. You guys are sharing some wonderful stories, some wonderful lessons that you learn from your mom. Like you can only you can your moms are priceless. Like mom and mother figures. And let me be clear, because everybody does not necessarily have. You may not have your mother. You may have lost your mother early, but there have been mother figures in your life who can show you who embrace you with that love, that unconditional love that says that you are okay and you are enough and that someone loves you and that they're always there for you no matter what. So I I, I absolutely love that. All right. So I do have one more lesson that I learned from my mother. But before I share that, so I'm going to keep you guys on pins and needles. I do want to make a special announcement. I'm super excited because I haven't really said this to anyone. And so I'm sharing this with you all. Yes, that's right. I'm sharing this with you all for the first time. Public announcement. Okay. I have a brand new website. Yes. It's officially launched. You can go to www.smartvideogirl.com and check out my website. I'm so super excited about that. You can go to the website, you can check it out. There's a few blog posts on there. This is going to be where you can find about everything Smart Video Girl. Everything that I have got going on, you can find it here. You can find out about my creative side. You can find out about my coaching programs. You can find out about the speaking engagements that I'll be doing. You can scan the QR code there, or you can just type in www.smartvideogirl. Please check it out. Please send me your feedback. You can also get to the store for the Be Earth You collection. So, again, this is all things Smart Video Girl, all things me, all things do the work, keep the faith. So, make sure you visit the website. You guys are the first to hear about it. So, be excited. Be excited with me. Okay. We excited. I'm excited because this is one of the goals that I have um, put out. So yes, please make sure you go and check out the website. Thank you guys so much. You guys are like my biggest cheerleaders out there. And I love y'all. I absolutely love you guys. And as I wrap up this second season, as it starts to come to a close, I'm really taking in a lot of the love and taking in a lot of the encouragement that I have surrounding me, including my mother, who is one of my biggest supporters. I really do appreciate her. She tunes into my show. She watches my kids. Like, listen, let me tell you about the blessing that is my mother. Okay. My son, Elijah, will be 12 this year. He went to daycare probably for 6 months because I insisted. But had it not been for my nana, his nana, for my mother, I don't know how I would have made it. Like, she literally watched my son for me. Like, she watched my son. She wouldn't have it any other kind of way. And that's another thing about unconditional love. Like, she's always there in ways that I need her the most, even when I don't even realize that I need her. Again, like I said, I insisted that he go to daycare. Now, she hated it. She was like, no, 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 not my baby don't, no. And I was like, yeah, he needs to go. She was like, no. That lasted about 6 months. It lasted about half a year, and then that was it. And then he was back with his grandmother. She was back. He was back watching. She was back watching him, and that's something that most people don't get. But a lot of people don't get the opportunity to have that type of village, where the mother, your mother, is willing to watch your kids. Now, even though they get on her nerves sometimes, trust and believe me, they run her ragged. But what I know is that unconditional love that I was talking about, that first lesson, that second lesson, she has that for them. And we all get weary, we all get tired. They my kids and they get on my nerves, okay? So I know. But that doesn't mean that you don't love them. And that means that it also means that you will do anything. Like my mom literally would do anything for them and for me. And that's something that's a very, very, very rare to find that. And I know that she does that from the purest place in her heart. So again, this show is all about paying tribute to my mother, telling her how much I love her, and exposing the lessons from my mother. So, the last lesson that I learned from my mother is a good one. All right. And that one is similar to what uh, T talked about, which is faithfulness. Passion for God, love for God, an understanding for God. My mom taught me faithfulness. And this lesson here probably is the most priceless because she's someone, again, with the persistence, with the unconditional love, and with the youthfulness. Faithfulness has been one of the biggest lessons. She took us to church when I was younger. It was me, her, my sister. We would go and sit in the church, and we would sit next to my Aunt Ruth, bless her heart. and she would give us money. We would go to McDonald's after church, all the good stuff, all the good stuff, all the good stuff. I didn't even understand what I was getting into, but she made sure that I had a solid foundation in that. And I would hear her always talk about how the ancestors, how the generations of family, the women in our family have prayed for the lineage in this family. And so it is the understanding of the power of prayer, the understanding and the foundation of your ancestors and the role that they play in the blessings that you receive today. And that to me is priceless. And as I've grown older, um, we have, I'm not even going to say switch roles, but we have come to a place now where I feel I'm so secure in my relationship with God and who He is and having this knowing. And that really stems from the, the, the foundation that was laid from my mother, which is priceless. Faithfulness. Faithfulness in all things, faithfulness in adversity. That's what the persistence comes in, right? Because if you're persistent, you have to have some faith that you're going to get through. Like my mom would talk about, and I don't want to put all her business in there, but I am. I'm sorry, mom. When she was in the street, she would still talk about how God was. My God, how does that make sense? But it makes sense to me. Now I understand because God is always with you. He's always with you. And even in your lowest moments, even in your darkest days, even when you can't see the light, he's always there. And she had faithfulness through all of that. And I use that as a basis for my relationship with God. My mom always talked about. She always kept a Bible. When I had my I remember when breathe, Crystal. All right. I remember okay, give me a minute. I remember when I had after I had Elijah and I had my miscarriage. And this was a very spiritual moment for me, guys. I tell you I cry all the time, so forgive the tears, okay? Um I had a miscarriage after Elijah, and it was a very, very, very emotional, like it was very traumatic. It was a very spiritual moment for me. And like I said, I don't want to get too dramatic, but I could literally feel the the life passing through me. And so once the body passed through me, I was able to hold this baby, right? In my hand. It was like this big, right? And I was 14 weeks and 3 days. And I share this story with people a lot because it means so much. It was like literally God talking to me. Okay. It was literally God talking to me. And the first person who came in after that was my mother. And she had what she had with her? The Bible. Okay. She had a Bible with her. And she opened up the Bible, the book of John, and it went to John. We went to John 14:3 because I was 14 weeks and 3 days. And I shared this story with so many people because it means so much to me. And in that verse, I don't want to paraphrase it today. Let me pull it up. So I always paraphrase it. Uh, John 14:3 says, "And if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come again and receive you unto myself, that where I am, there you may be as also." Which to me, the another version of it says, "And I will go and prepare a place for you, and I will come back and take you to be with me, that you will also be where I am." That is a level of faith. That is that was God talking to me to have faith, okay, that no matter what, I was going to be with him. That baby, it was such a heavy moment, and for my mom to be there with me, to have the to have the Bible there, to open it up, and and for us to, and for that to be the verse, okay, it says so much to me. And I was just so grateful again that in my time of need, in the time that I needed her the most, my mother was there. Because she's always there. She's always there. So not only faithfulness in God, but faithfulness just to know that she was always there, even when she wasn't. I can appreciate it now. Because you know what? She came back. Can I say that? Can we get an amen in the church today? That to me is a beautiful thing. And I just want to, as I wrap up this show, I'm going to give me some more tissue, okay? But I just want to let my mother know that I love her. I love you, mother. You are very, 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 very special and important and priceless. And I could not have asked for a better mother. I could not ask for a better person to help guide me through this journey of life. And I understand now so many more things than I did before. And I'm so happy that we are where we are in this place. And, I appreciate you for who you are as a grandmother. I appreciate who you are as a mother and as a friend. And may God continue to bless you. Okay? All right. Mommy, aka Nana. My daughter, and by the way, my daughter loves her Nana. So much so. I be like, you love me? No, I love Nana. I'm like, okay. I don't take it personal because I'm your mama and I get it. But she literally tells me she loves Nana and she doesn't love me. We're still working on it. She doesn't quite get it, but I know my kids love you unconditionally. You showed them so much love, and I'm so blessed that they have you to be such a great grandmother too. All right. All right, guys, that is it for today. Again, just to recap the lessons from my mother. The first one was persistence. Persistence. Never give up. Never take no for an answer. Never let them close the door in your face without going around the back to get in. Trust and believe me, you will do it. Persistence. All right. Number two, unconditional love, no matter what. I love you unconditionally. Number three, youthfulness. Okay, honey, maintain that spirit of youthfulness. Don't ever let the days pass by. Don't ever settle for being old. Okay, because as long as you're here on this planet, okay, you have two things to do, which is grow and contribute. So continue to grow and continue to be youthful in your expression of life. And lastly, faithfulness. Faithfulness in God, faithfulness in family. And yeah, that is it. And don't forget the brand new website, smartvideogirl.com. I'm just so excited. I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode of introducing the podcast. Again, don't forget you can follow me on at Smart Video Girl on IG, and you can also Google me, Google Smart Video Girl, everything Smart Video Girl. It'll all come up. It'll all be me, the one and only. Okay. Um, Also, make sure you subscribe, like, and share this podcast. with others, the channel with others. Let them know what we're doing over here. We got some good stuff. We got good content. Okay. Oh yeah. So because I'm trying to get to 1,000 likes, 1,000 subscribers on my YouTube. Because guess what? I can start to get paid, y'all. I'm trying to get paid. Okay. And you can only watch this on YouTube. But tonight, I think I actually let my Facebook fans hear this too. So, but make sure you share, subscribe, and like. Tell a friend to tell a friend. If each one of you tell 5 people, guess what? We're gonna get up there real quick. So tell a friend, share. Make sure you check me out next Tuesday for the last episode of season 2. The last episode of season 2 will be going down next Tuesday. So make sure that you tune in and check it out. Okay, because we're gonna be here. It's gonna be a recap. I'm gonna have some of your favorite guests join me back here on the podcast. It's gonna be a great show. It's gonna be an awesome, super duper show. I want to thank you all again for being here and tuning in. I appreciate you for always, showing up and showing me love. And I really do appreciate each and every one of you. I really, truly do. All right. So until next week, I am a creative, an influential visionary who shows up authentically and empowers others to think. Smart Video Girl, this is Introducing the Podcast. And I'll see you next week.
You are unique by design. Designed to be you. Renewed. Be Earth You. A lifestyle brand that promotes living authentic. Redesign your mind. And remember that there is only one you. Live authentically. Be Earth You. Visit www.beearthyou.com where everything happens for a reason and all things are working in your favor.